Breaking news! A new episode of Let's Be Frank starting now!
Hello all. Really quick, this is Editing Frank, here to say that today's Weird and Wild Creatures video is going to be a bit different than all the other Weird and Wild Creatures videos. I messed up the green screen effect. This is the first time I'm trying to use a green screen in this new apartment of mine, and what I did didn't work out. Not going to go into details because I don't want to waste your time, but instead of me being on screen the entire time, I'm just not gonna be. It's just gonna be my voice. You're gonna get to see images and videos. And yeah, this is probably the only bit you will actually see my face in the whole video. The rest will all just be my audio. So sorry it's gonna be different and weird, but hey, that's the name of the show, isn't it? All right, hope you enjoyed the video all the same.
Hello all. I love cats, guys. You guys should probably know that by now because I kind of talk about cats a lot. But today, we're not talking about the cat I own or the cat that I found on the side of the road. No, we're talking about big cats. Big, scary cats that'll rip your throat out. Now, typically, when I do a Weird and Wild Creatures video, I do these 7 categories, from monsters of the past all the way through to monsters of the mind. But today, we're only doing 5 creatures because 3 of them all come from the same category. I'm sorry guys, the big cats don't really stretch across every category, and I don't want to pull another oops all snakes where I just didn't show 2 snakes. So instead, we are going to be looking at 5 big cats today. Don't worry, there's still going to be a lot of variety here. Just make sure you stick all the way through it and subscribe if you have not already for more Weird and Wild Creatures videos. Without further ado, let's jump right into these big cats. And thankfully, we are starting in the monsters of the past because today we're talking about the saber-toothed tiger. This guy is the scariest cat I've ever seen. I will cuddle a lion, a tiger, especially a cheetah, definitely a cheetah, before this giant animal. 5 feet long, up to 450 pounds, with 7-inch long canines. That's ginormous. That cleans my neck. That doesn't make any sense. It cleaves is what I meant to say, right through my neck. I can't even imagine what it must have felt like to die. To die. That's it. That's all you do when you encounter these guys. You die. So all of the fossils for the saber-toothed tiger were actually found here in North America and also in South America. You know, the conjoined twins of continents. One thing you may notice about this guy that's different from most of the big cats we're talking about today is his tail. He actually has a very short, stubby tail. And, you know, a lot of these big cats have longer tails. It helps them with direction and everything when they're running fast. But the saber-toothed tiger doesn't chase down its prey. No. It ambushes them. It hides in wait and jumps, pounces on them, and digs those claws and massive teeth into it to kill it. Now, there are a lot of ambush predator cats. I mean, even your household cat, I'm sure, has done that thing where they wiggle their butt and pounce on you, you know? But it's just so crazy that it never had to hunt. It never ran down its prey. Seems like it was a pretty accurate killer. Now, obviously, in order to use these giant teeth, it had to have more range with its jaw, you know? It can open its jaw about twice as wide as a lion can to create a stabbing effect with those front teeth. It's literally like picking up a dagger and stabbing it down into your prey. Ooh, these guys are intense. But that's about all I have to say about our cat friend from the distant past. Let's move on now to the far distant, well, not the future, the present. We have these next animals here. We're going to be sitting in the nightmares of nature for the next 3 creatures. Guys, I thought the saber-toothed tiger was big. This next creature, the African lion, is so much bigger. This guy can get up to 8 feet long, 4 feet tall and weigh up to 570 pounds. That's the biggest cat. I can't believe it. I was sitting here ready to think that the saber-tooth was kind of the big daddy. You know, nothing gets bigger than daddy from the past. No, they do get bigger from daddy in the past. This is why we call him the king of the jungle, right? Lion facts are a bit more common, though, than saber-toothed tiger facts. I'm sure a lot of you guys know a lot about lions already. You know, the females do the hunting for the pride. The pride is what you call a group of lions. The males will get into fights all the time over territory. You know, fun stuff like that. But let me tell you some things you might not have known. So unlike the saber-toothed tiger's 7-inch canines, the lion's is a bit smaller at 2.5 inches. But still, think about it. That is a long, sharp tooth. And just because it's not as big as we know, size doesn't always matter. And I'm pretty sure a 2.5-inch canine will still do the job of killing you. Oh man, honestly, sometimes I wish I was a lion. These guys can rest for up to 20 hours a day. Fantastic. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not lazy. I don't want to be sitting around doing nothing all day. But wouldn't it be nice just a day or two out of the week to just rest? I guess that's what the weekend's for, but we don't ever use it for that, really. Us humans are workaholics. Speaking of which, when it does come time to finally do some work, put in the effort, lions can run very, very fast, and they can leap up to 40 feet in a single bound. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking 40 feet upwards into the air. 40 feet across in a single bound. That is very scary and very incredible. And here's one more fun fact before we move on, because I really didn't know this. A pride of lions can consist of up to 40 members. That's absurd. Normally you see a pride of lions just like 10 or under, I feel. I mean, we got like 4 or 5 females. Maybe not 10. Like 15, you got like 4 or 5 females, like a few males here, and then a bunch of little brats running around. I don't know, 40 seems like a lot. But though I have enjoyed talking about the king of the jungle, I do believe it's time we move on now and talk, well, like I said, we're sticking to the nightmare of nature, but let's just move on. So the lion may be the king of the jungle, but I personally prefer this next cat, the Siberian tiger. Tigers are some of the most beautiful big cats, if not the most stunning with that coat. Cheetahs are still my favorite, but man, are tigers a close second. And this guy is big. This guy right here, 9 feet long, 3.5 feet tall, and up to 670 pounds. Guys, this is bigger than a lion. Yeah, sure, the lion was a little taller, like half a foot. But lengthwise, girth-wise, the tiger, the Siberian tiger specifically, beats him out. And it makes sense these guys are so big. They have to have a lot of muscle and even some fat in there to help survive the cold winters of Siberia. I mean, the temperature can get 60 below freezing there, and they'll do just fine. And these guys are great hunters. Like the saber-toothed tiger, they're ambush hunters. And they'll lie in wait to hunt things like pigs or deer, or they'll fish out of the river. But that's not all. Yeah, there's one other thing they hunt. What's that? Oh yeah, bears. These guys hunt bears. What hunts a bear? That's insane. So you guys may already know that the tiger's stripes help camouflage it, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? Orange is like a very uncommon color in nature. Green is probably the most common color. But since the snow gets pretty heavy in Siberia, all the white that's covering it does help it blend in with the snow a bit better. But no, all these markings and everything helps it camouflage right down. I bet when there's a lot of shade around and everything, you can barely even tell they're there. So earlier we talked about the African lion and how it can leap up to 40 feet. Now the tiger, he's a leaper too, but he can't get close to what the lion can. Our tiger friend here can get up to about 27 feet when he leaps, and in his ambushing skills, they're insane. He will crush the back of his prey and bite onto the neck, holding it down until it dies. Brutal, first of all, but second of all, even if the tiger misses, right, and the prey dashes off, he's still not safe, guys. The Siberian tiger can reach speeds of like 50 miles per hour. This card claims 50 miles per hour. I don't get it. That is faster than many, many roads. Any residential roads. All right, lions, tigers, the bears that the tiger eats. Oh my, we've finished up with the more common big cats. But there's one more before we move on to the, spoiler alert, monster of the mind big cat that I'd like to talk to you guys about. One more from the Nightmare of Nature that's a lot more unique. So our next big cat is small. I guess I kind of lied when I said they were all big cats. The Jaguarundi is basically the cousin to the house cat. Yes, you did not mishear me. Jaguarundi, not a jaguar. Let me explain. So the Jaguarundi can be found in Central and South America, prowling the rainforests, and it can get up to about 2.5 feet long, about 2 feet tall, and weigh up to about 20 pounds. So it's kind of just a heftier house cat. But don't get it twisted. This cat may not be huge, but it's still very deadly. I mean, it has all of the tools at its disposal that the other big cats have. Super sharp claws, insanely sharp canines, super deadly, and an extra rough tongue. It can like lick the meat right off your bones. So the Jaguarundi will eat pretty much anything it can get its claws on. Mammals, insects, birds, bird eggs, fish. If it can hunt it, it'll eat it. And with it being so small, it's very easy for the Jaguarundi to dip and dive in and out of all these brush branches and everything. You know what I'm talking about. It can chase prey for like half a mile. So this guy's pretty weasel-like, isn't he? You'd think he'd be related to some kind of ferret or something, or the card even calls out like a fusa. But no, even though its relatives are house cats, its closest cousin is the puma. They're very similar, maybe not build, the puma's not very weaselly, but they're pretty similar in other cat-like ways. The card's not specific. Now, we talked multiple times about this guy being the size of a house cat, but did you know the people of Central and South America would sometimes keep these guys as pets to keep the rodents away and whatnot? Which, it's already house cat size, why not? Now listen, if we can do this with something as wild as a Jaguarundi, let's just domesticate lions and tigers, right? Come on. Give it like 4 decades, you know, or something like that. We could completely domesticate these animals. It just takes time. We want to conserve them. We want to make sure they don't go extinct. Domesticate them. Oh, I just want my cheetah. Anyway, we have to move on to the final true big cat of the day in the Monsters of the Mind. And the final big cat of the day is the Mingwa. Now, where can you find the Mingwa? In Tanzania and Kenya, near the east coast of Africa. In the language Swahili, Mingwa means the strange one. I would have called it big dangerous cat, but you know, that's just me. Now, nobody has exact measurements of the Mingwa, but it's said to be bigger than a lion, faster than a leopard, and the most ferocious killing machine you'll ever encounter. The Mingwa doesn't just hunt for food, it hunts for sport. Really. The Swahili people will shut their doors and not go out at night, specifically to avoid this giant monster cat. Now, there has never been any official documentation of the Mingwa, but a lot of the natives from Kenya, Tanzania, they all say that they've seen him, or maybe they've found corpses that clutch this gray-white fur in their hands. Who knows? There have been many hunting trips to go after this bad boy. They've all been unsuccessful, so draw your own conclusions. Who knows? Hey, it's a big cat. Makes more sense than a lot of the other creatures like Mothman, or what are some other crazy ones? Who was that first guy I did? Yeah, this guy. Makes more sense than him. My guess, this is just your average run-of-the-mill big cat, maybe with albinism, you know? It makes it more white. It's got them piercing eyes. Although they say the Mingwa's eyes are yellow, albinism kind of turns the eyes red. So who knows? Maybe it is real. Maybe it's not. All I know is you should subscribe. That's right. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you give it a like and definitely subscribe if you have not already. We've had a major uptick in subscribers recently, and I could not be more thankful. I'm so appreciative of you guys. Keep it going. Let's try our best to go up another few hundred, shall we? With all that being said, make sure you follow my Instagram and Facebook at Let's Be Frank 2020. Definitely do that. I post updates whenever a video goes up. With all that being said, once again, thank you so very much for watching. And until next time!